everyone, Hobo4Craft, aka MrHobo here, and of course we've got two more pros playing today. We've got MTW Damaga versus Mr. Hobo. Oh, I've heard about this guy. He is a real pro Zerg. No, but obviously this is a video of me playing Damaga, and I'm gonna give it away right here. I'm gonna get smashed, and right here you can see that I'm fanboying right here. Because it's freaking Damaga, what would you guys do? But anyway, oh, I asked him if he switched to Terran because I've always been wondering that while casting games where he does play Terran. He says no, and then he just says fun, smiley face. That should be an evil smiley face right there. That would fit the bill right there. But yeah, I laugh. Oh, Damaga with your funny Ukrainian antics. But I'm going to have a pretty standard opening here. I'm going to go for a 14 hatchery, but later you'll see that he does have something to say about that. But we're going to get a standard opening from Damaga as well. Nothing cheesy is going to happen this game. Well, it depends on your definition of cheese, but no early game cheese is going to happen. We are going to see him use a very common strategy that I guess I don't want to give it away right now just because that would take some of the fun out of it. But you can see he's got his little SCV on patrol over here. And I saw his SCV coming up here on the ramp, so I probably should have backed away to make it look like I wasn't going to Expo and then go back by him while he was passing me. But now it's going to be this little game right here where he blocks you forever and just makes it so annoying. Gonna see this go down, but I'm gonna lose my scalp because I'm pretty caught up over here. He's gonna really delay this a lot. I'm gonna throw down my spawning pool earlier instead. I'm already up to about 570 minerals. This is just terrible. And finally his SCV is gonna go away. He even lets it survive, and he stalls right here for a second, and I'm like, oh, and I lose it. So just not off to a very good start. Didn't even get to set my rally, but alright, now it's looking pretty good for me. Got my spawning pool down, just got my, oh, is he commentating? Just got my spawning pool down, get my hatchery up. Now is when I want to start making some drones, maybe get a couple zerglings out, start to scout a bit. I'm going to send my overlord through. I like to send my overlord back here so that later in the game I can scout through, just send it into the base as a sacrifice and see what he's doing. That's something that Zerg players definitely need to do more often. When a lot of Zergs say they have trouble against mainly Terran, the main reason is that because they don't scout enough. Especially when they have an overlord that they can just send into the base and see everything for just about 100 minerals. It's really important, especially when obviously Terran blocks off and you can't get into the base. But anyway, I have segued into trying to be a little more economic here and trying to set up my my bases, trying to get them saturated. I do have a couple Zerglings out right now. I'm going to send one of my X'el Naga. I always like to get the X'el Naga as fast as possible so I can see if Hellions are scooting about or rolling around. And I'm going to notice something pretty interesting coming up here. Still trying to just saturate everything. You can see get a little bit more of Zerglings out. And right now this is all I see. I'm going to scout up here in a second. It should be rolling my Zerglings up here. Yep, and I see this, and I saw an add-on on the factory. I didn't see what it was, so I go back up to check. Turns out to be a tech lab, excuse me, and I know that that either means tanks or Thors, so I'm a little worried at this point. I noticed he only had 3 Marines, and he didn't really have a reactor or anything, so I was expecting somewhat of a Thor push, and I'm going to try to get a good enough economy to pump out a lot of units to counter this. But the thing is, when you're Zerg, you really have to balance between making units and making drones flat out. It's a pretty simple concept, but it really takes a lot of practice in just grinding game after game to get the feel of when you should stop making drones. You need to make units, etc., etc. So I don't even have my metabolic boost yet, I don't think. No, I delayed that a lot because I think it was because my hatchery was so late, or maybe I think it was because I wanted to tech more quickly. but you can see I'm still trying to saturate. I'm not pumping out that many Zerglings. Once again, he only had 3 Marines. He couldn't really do anything right at this point. I should be a little more careful if he were to do an all-in push and bring in a ton of SCVs to repair a Thor. That could very well come out at any second now, so I definitely should have more Zerglings than I do right now, I admit. And right now, the point of this commentary is for kind of to show you guys how to watch your replays and how to point out your mistakes. And something that's very good to do is at key points in the game, just pause like I'm doing right now. Look around, look at your opponent's base, see what he's going, and just see if he were to attack right now, could I defend this? And my answer would be, it would be pretty close. I do have a lot of larva that I could spend into a lot of Zerglings, and one Thor isn't that good against Zerglings, and he only has 3 Marines, so it would be close. If he brought a lot of SEVs, he might end the game, but I didn't really feel that he was going to be pretty aggressive. I did, in fact, see this command center go down, but something very important to note, you see, I saw the command center right there. Something very important to note is if you do see a command center going down, it's especially when you're playing a pro player like Dimaga or anybody else, it's a good sign that they're going to be aggressive in the near future, and while they're doing that, they're able to put down their command center, because while they're at your base, they can expo up and macro up while they're attacking you, because that's a key time right there. But anyway, looking at me, I'm going Aspire right now. This was a stupid choice, I do admit, just because he's gonna go a heavy Thor build, which I do see in a couple of seconds. I am sacrificing my Overlord, and I should have known just by seeing this funky build. I am pretty, I would say probably overconfident in my mutas just because of the magic box skill. If you haven't seen that, go look it up. I think it's Size StarCraft who showed the magic box. I'm not positive. But basically it's just where you spread your mutas so that they don't take the splash damage from Thors. But upgraded Thors regardless just rip through mutas, and so in this way I was overconfident in getting mutas. I also love just how you can harass and stall for time, but Dimaga sees right through this, as we will see. So I definitely should have been throwing down a Roach Warren, as me and Dimaga will go over slightly, and yeah, Roaches definitely would have been the better choice at this point. So that's a key thing. That's a key part of the game right there to know. That's a pretty big way to fix my game. I see 2 more factories go down. I don't even know if I was paying attention to click on this. Click on these 2 more factories. Obviously, he's pumping out mech. Definitely needed to go those roaches, but we'll see what happens because the outcome. Because I do in fact go mutas. I am gonna put down 2 Evo chambers because I want really stack Zerglings, because I'm still sticking to the fact that Zerglings are much better than Thors in mass, and also I'm going to anticipate that he is going to bring SCVs to repair his Thors, which is pretty standard at this point in the game. So Banelings with +1 attack are just, they're pretty much amazing. And at this point I really do think he could take me out. I don't know, actually it would be close just because I'm pumping out. I got 3 queens I think, and a decent amount of Zerglings, and I'm pumping out my Mutalist right at this point. But he has taken his expo as well. His income is probably way better than mine. Yes, it is, especially with those mules. I definitely did not pump out enough drones as I should have. I was expecting him to come somewhat of an all-in with his Thors, so didn't commit as hard as to economy as I probably should have. And I was kind of surprised you didn't block this back here, so I'm going to take advantage of that and try to pick off a couple units. Just a couple SCVs there. You don't want to stay in there any longer. Losing more than a couple Zerglings for some SCVs is definitely not worth it. But you can see I'm definitely trying to catch up in economy. I've been getting some more drones. And I definitely, at this point, I definitely should be getting more drones. That's another key thing. Especially as Zerg, like I said earlier, you need to watch the replay and say, okay, when should I be getting drones? When should I be making units? And that's something I didn't manage very well this game. I admit I kind of had nerd nerves playing Dimaga, and as a result, I'm playing not to my best, I admit. But it looks like he has pumped out a couple Hellions. These won't play that big of a role in the game, but that just shows how much he is committed to mech at this point. And oh my gosh, he has 5 Thors already. He has 5 Thors, and I guess this is what Dimaga considers fun, as he blatantly stated in the beginning of the game with his evil smiley face. And now, just now, I'm probably catching up a little bit in economy. I actually have outpassed him in harvesters, which kind of surprises me. But now, right here, I see him coming, and this is my oh shit moment. And he's going to be charging it. It doesn't seem like that much, and really, it really isn't, but it's all about unit composition, and in this game, his was definitely better than mine. And just going to pause it right here. My Banelings was because I wanted to get rid of those SCVs. Hellions also take a lot of damage. I thought I could maybe take out some Hellions, some Marines, because I knew he had those Marines, and some SCVs. And if you get rid of the SCVs, the Thors die a lot more quickly because obviously they don't have SCVs to repair them. So, and at this point, I really should be pumping out a ton of Zerglings because, like I said, Zerglings are better than Thors in mass, and I do have a decent amount of Mutalisks, but I don't think I micro them correctly because I think I let them group up. Stupid mistake of mine. To do the magic box, all you have to do, see how they're spread out right at this point. If you just hover over the Thors and then hit S for stop, they will stop in this position where they're all spread out, and they will start attacking the Thors, but they will not group up, because if you A-click or focus fire one Thor, then they'll group up and they'll get just demolished by that. Oh, that's not good. They will just get demolished by that splash damage. So just going to go ahead and let you guys watch. You're going to see that I'm going to go in with these Banelings and try to take out these SEVs, but I think I miraculously yeah, that was just retarded terrible on my part. Definitely mismicroed those, and as you can see, I got demolished in a matter of seconds. Has a lot to do with, I think he has 2 50mm cannons. No, he doesn't even have that, but he does have +1 attack and +1 armor, and Dimaga goes still the fucking same. So I guess he has a bit of trouble against this as Zerg as well, and I don't blame him. This is a ridiculous strategy. This is becoming a lot more popular, and so the rest of this is just me just being like, what could I have done? He said, you didn't need the mutas. Obviously, I touched on that. He makes a very good point. And here I'm like, oh, well, if you use blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. I make a good point if you can harass well enough, and that kind of makes them effective. But he goes, what? No, I don't think good for versus mass Thors. And yeah, flat out, roaches would have been the best option against this this composition, this strategy, which I had scouted multiple times, so there's no reason that I should have gone roaches, or shouldn't have gone roaches. So, oh my gosh, he has 5 more freaking Thors back here. It's just ridiculous. Or 6. Yeah, 6 more Thors. So, basically, there was no way I would have won this game just because of how poorly I had played it, what poor decisions I had made. And the main thing is my tech that I went, and not taking advantage of the scouting information I had gotten. And I do believe I would have gotten a nice amount of roaches by the time he had hit, and it would have been a different game. So hope you guys enjoyed watching me get my ass kicked. Hobo4Craft signing out.